It had been 7 days since Lu Xing, in the flesh, had returned home to visit his parents. His family was warm and happy, with nothing to worry about. These were perhaps the most peaceful 7 days Lu Xing had enjoyed after years of running around. That morning, he and Dong Qingxue waved goodbye to his parents as they left. He still wore his usual casual outfit. He was always granted special privileges to dress casually wherever he went. Dong Qingxue, however, was returning to her military post and thus had to wear her uniform. No one knew what Qing he was busy with, but she didn't come out to see them off. Only Lu Xing's parents stood at the gate, waving farewell to their son. He had only just arrived, and already he had to leave again. His mother was reluctant to let him go, but given the weight of responsibility on his shoulders, 7 days was already more than enough. His father reassured her. They're just going to Dong Qingxue's house, not some strangers. She's a good girl. It's time to settle down, anyway. Saying this, he glanced at the tightly held hands of the young couple. Who would have thought Lu Xing and Dong Qingxue's relationship would progress this fast? They were practically on the brink of marriage. At the airport, Dong Qingxue gently asked her boyfriend, "Are you nervous?" He chuckled. "It's just meeting the in-laws, isn't it?" "Actually, that's something you should ask your dad. I think he's the one who's more nervous right now." He wasn't joking. The stories of Lu Xing's exploits, especially the incident where he beat Dong Shoni to a pulp, had long reached the ears of his future father-in-law. Now that he was coming over as a military god and undefeated martial saint, he was no longer just some kid, over at Dong Qingxue's home. A private villa not too different from Lu Xing's parents' place. The atmosphere was a mix of anticipation and nervous energy. Her father, Dong Qingding, much older than Lu Xing's parents due to his status as a martial artist, was pretending to read the paper and sip coffee like it was just another morning. But it clearly wasn't. He raised the cup to his lips and immediately choked. Dry coffee powder filled his mouth. He hadn't even poured water into it. So lost in thought, he hadn't noticed. His wife came running, already guessing what had happened. "Seriously? You're not a child. How do you forget to pour water into the coffee?" Grumbling, she poured water into his cup for him, and only then did things settle a bit in the house. "What's wrong with you? Drinking unmade coffee? Are you even awake yet?" Dong Qingding had to admit that he wasn't himself today. "I'm a proud level 7 grandmaster, and yet damn, I'm nervous." "Really? Isn't it just your future son-in-law visiting? You're making me nervous now too." Even though she was cooking like any normal day, his wife had been noticing her husband's unease ever since they got the news. Now that he brought it up, he finally confessed what was weighing on him. "You wouldn't understand, that young man. He's not just anyone, he's the god of the military, the undefeated martial saint, the strongest man in the world. Any one of those titles is awe-inspiring. Let alone all of them belonging to a single person. If I saw him from afar, I'd probably be blinded by his aura alone. Who would have thought someone like Lu Xing, who only recently rose to prominence, would be coming to our house to ask for our daughter's hand? Even after all this time." Dong Qingding was still mentally preparing himself for the meeting. His wife, hearing it all for the first time, sat there stunned, not understanding how someone so legendary could possibly take interest in their daughter. "Honestly, I've been in a bit of a daze these past 2 days too. It feels like I'm dreaming," she admitted. Sure, Dong Qingxue had served in the military for over 10 years, and having a boyfriend wasn't unusual. But compared to her brother's accomplishments, hers didn't quite stack up. They just figured, being the youngest and the daughter, she needed to be more carefully matched. Dong Qingding himself had never imagined his daughter would have a boyfriend this exceptional. And calling him exceptional doesn't even do him justice, he added. "Honestly, we're in the same boat. Before I turned 70, I always thought our 2 sons were my greatest pride. Who'd have thought the biggest blessing was our 3rd child? Maybe the ancestors really are looking after us. And our daughter looks like you, too." That single line blew away all his wife's worries. She ran her hand through her white hair and laughed. "Well, thank goodness she doesn't look like you. That would have been a disaster." They both shared a laugh. Just then, the phone on the table buzzed. It was a message from Dong Qingxue. 3 minutes until we arrive at Dashan Mountain Airport, despite waiting for 2 days already. Both parents were still caught off guard by how soon the couple would arrive. What? They're almost here? So fast? They'd also heard that members of the Qin and Wang families were heading to the airport as well. After hearing the news, do you think it's appropriate? His wife asked. Should we tell them to go back? Dong Qingding stood up immediately, throwing on his coat and calling out to his wife. No need. They already told me they were coming. They're prestigious families. After all, besides, whether emotionally or logically, it makes sense they'd come to welcome him. Let's hurry and head down, and tell everyone, don't treat that man like some regular son-in-law, treat him like an honored ancestor. His wife nodded in agreement. She changed her clothes and was out the door in no time, just short of incense and bananas. The meeting had basically been a success before Lu Xing even showed up. As soon as the plane landed at Dyson Mountain Airport, the regional military command had already received the full manifest. Rows of soldiers stood in perfect formation all the way to the runway. Looking more intense than if the Prime Minister himself were visiting, each person wore a dead serious face. Like they were preparing for battle, 2 long lines of people were lined up just for Lu Xing's plane, and by the time he and Dong Qingxue stepped to the aircraft door, both were stunned speechless. What the? Lu Xing muttered. The moment his face appeared, the people below boomed in unison, respectfully awaiting the Lord's arrival. Escort fleet ready and awaiting orders. Lu Xing couldn't help but think, you guys are overdoing it. What is this? Some kind of road-clearing stunt to show off authority. Back when he first started training in martial cultivation, he looked up to the great martial figures, those revered, untouchable elders with followers everywhere they went. He used to think it was cool, but now, standing at the pinnacle, he found such spectacles tiresome, even off-putting. The higher you climbed, the more you lost the simple joys of ordinary life. Dong Qingxue glanced at him and immediately understood what he was thinking. She smiled gently and asked, Want to just go on our own? Of course, he said, you know me. I've never liked being the center of attention. Let's go, then. No sooner had she spoken than Lu Xing wrapped an arm around her waist and disappeared from the plane door. Those watching from below didn't even catch where he went. Where is he? Where did he go? Oh no, he's vanished. A whole welcoming party, and they still managed to scare off the guy they were trying to greet. Not only had Lu Xing vanished from the airport, he'd taken Dong Qingxue and instantly relocated 10 kilometers away, where they casually flagged down a taxi. The driver, completely unaware of who they were, simply asked where they were headed. Dong Qingxue told him Qinghu Villa, in Dailan Mountain, and the man drove off, thinking just another wealthy couple. After a while, he peered at them through the rearview mirror. Curiosity getting the better of him. Hey, you two. You wouldn't happen to be celebrities, would you? Actors or something? I've been driving taxis for years, and I've never seen a better matched couple. The looks, the aura, top tier. It was a simple, ordinary compliment. The kind of casual flattery that Lu Xing now valued more than any military fanfare. Even better, the driver added, such a perfect match. I can't even tell the age difference between you two. Both Lu Xing and Dong Qingxue were quietly thrilled. What's the saying again? The driver mused aloud, golden boy, jade girl, meant to be. Lu Xing laughed. Dong Qingxue, I think we better tip this master generously. She burst out laughing. You're terrible. But I kind of like it. After about half an hour, the taxi came to a stop, not at the villa yet, but because the road ahead was blocked off. Well now, the driver said, peering ahead, who's arriving today? That's quite the show. Young man, you sure you two can get in? Looks like this is a private event. Lu Xing didn't bother explaining. He handed over a thick wad of cash and said, We'll sneak in from here. Faced with such a generous tip, the driver wasn't about to refuse. Well, don't get caught, all right? Good luck to you both, he chuckled to himself as he drove off, thinking these two definitely belonged to some big aristocratic family. With that vibe, I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled it off. But he never imagined that all the guards and barriers were actually set up for this very young man. Lu Xing and Dong Qingxue had to make a big detour on foot, keeping their heads low. The entire villa area was teeming with people. They ducked behind a bush, looking around cautiously like a couple of thieves. This is insane, Lu Xing whispered. Is this really just a visit to the father-in-law? Why are there so many people? Only one option: sneak in. Scanning the crowd, they spotted a very familiar-looking figure, ponytail and all. No way. Qin Xiao Jun? Lu Xing said, amused. He turned to Dong Qing Shui. Wanna go mess with him? Qin Xiao Jun was standing off to the side, relaxed and smoking like some kind of stylish rebel, completely unaware he was about to be ambushed. The moment he sensed someone behind him, he nearly jumped out of his skin. Oh shit, wait, it's you too! Despite everything, Qin Xiao Jun's reaction wasn't the least bit affected by Lu Xing's legendary status. Lu Xing smirked. You see a military marshal and don't salute? Drop into a horse stance for 10 minutes, now! Qin Xiao Jun immediately shouted, you jerk! Don't forget who helped you chase down Dong Qing Shui. Same old him. It was hard to take this guy seriously. You're still the same, Lu Xing said, laughing. Just kidding, lighten up, haven't seen you in ages. Instructor Qin Xiao Jun. Likewise, Lu Xing, it really has been a while. Did you come back because of the news too? Qin asked slyly. What news? Qin leaned in and whispered mysteriously, you mean you haven't heard? Word is, the military lord, you, beat the crap out of martial saints around the world. Some are saying you've already surpassed them. Oh, and that new body tempering technique that spread through the military recently? You've heard of it, right? Lu Xing narrowed his eyes but didn't answer just yet. After all, things were only starting to get interesting. It's definitely his handwriting. That body tempering method is truly heaven-shaking, Qin Xiao Jun said, eyes gleaming. Is that so? Dong Qing Shui frowned. Why don't I know anything about this? It's really as incredible as the rumors say? She asked again. He's already defeated every martial saint in the world? Lu Xing, have you fought him before? I only know you beat that extreme martial saint. Everyone knew about the time Lu Xing fought and defeated the extreme martial saint at sea. It had become a widely told tale. But as for what came after, even Dong Qing Shui had no idea. Apparently, the military had locked that information down tighter than a vault. They'd kept it quiet to avoid drawing too much attention, but from the way the Dong family's gate was flooded with people just now, it seemed they'd already been informed. I was going to wait until the end to tell you, Lu Xing muttered. He couldn't help but wonder whether Dong Qing Shui would be mad once she realized she was the last to know. While he was lost in thought, Qin Xiao Jun stuck his grinning face in again. Oh yeah, Lu Xing. Remember the time you fought Zhao Ji, and he escaped with heavy injuries? What happened after that? I tried digging around. But it's all locked under top secret clearance now. Come on, give me something. Just a little hint, He. You're practically a martial saint yourself now, just one step below that guy. Just from that brief conversation, Dong Qing Shui realized Lu Xing was still keeping things from her. With a sharp voice, she cut in. And you know it's top secret, yet you're still asking? He hasn't even told me. Well, it's not like you ever asked me. Lu Xing tried to defend himself. Unfortunately, his excuse ran right into Dong Qing Shui's thunderous expression. You dare embarrass me? At this point, there was only one thing left for him to say. I was wrong. It wasn't even a real fight, just her pouting a little. But that was enough. Qin Xiao Jun waved them both inside. Come on, come in, come in. So, rumor is, that big shot is coming here. I figured you two had already heard and came back because of it. Lu Xing and Dong Qing Shui exchanged glances. Qin Xiao Jun smirked. Ha! Didn't expect me to be more informed than you, huh? Dong Qing Shui blinked. A big shot like that. Coming to the Dong family? Why? According to Qin Xiao Jun, this wasn't just a social visit. The mysterious figure was traveling around to select a consort, not just from the Dong family either. He'd be heading to the Qin family next, and possibly touring all the major clans across dozens of cities in the capital province. You know how it is. Qin said, the greater the figure, the more valuable the bloodline. Genetics matter. Dong Qing Shui's face immediately tensed. She hadn't married Lu Xing yet. What if she got selected? And that person, the one being rumored about, almost made his faint when he finally realized who Qin Xiao Jun was talking about. Oh, come on. What kind of insane rumor is this? He screamed internally. And the most absurd part? the man at the center of the whole rumor. Didn't even know it himself. If Qin Xiaojun ever found out Lu Xing was the very person everyone was whispering about, who knew how he'd react?